Hey everybody, welcome to the 1804 show. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Got a special guest, Miss Marlo Donald, and just want to say thank y'all for watching last episode, man, showing me love and support. It just feels good knowing that I got a fan base and people been, you know, shouting me out, letting me know that they appreciate my work and everything like that. But it's enough for me. Let me bring her to the show. Hey.
Hey, is it too dark?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, cool beans. Hey.
Hey. Thank you
Hey,
for
hey.
coming to the show.
Thank you for the invite.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I can't take the full credit. Napoleon recommended me to you, so
Yes, we got to get a shout out to the Polo. Thank you, Polo.
so how
Let me
about,
share it to the people. Supposed to be.
yeah. Yeah, so how about you introduce yourself to my viewers and give your background?
Okay. Well, my name is Marlo Donald, and I'm an author. Um, I make hair grease. I do body butter. I sell paparazzi jewelry. So do a little bit of everything. Do poetry stand-ups.
Wow, you a Jill of all trades.
I try to do a little something, something. We do a little something.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, Polo.
Man, he gonna make me cry over here, man.
Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't let him make you cry. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not the tears. Not the tears.
Well, tears of joy, I had my moments of sorrow, but but it's just really good though. I love meeting new people and interacting with new people and learning about you guys, because you guys really give me um such so much joy because because people don't really understand when it comes to everyone has a story to tell, and you can learn a lot from someone's story and origin. So I just really appreciate learning about different people because it helps me become a better man.
Amen. And that's true. And everybody don't look like, they story, you
No,
know.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, I don't.
I thank God I don't. You know what I'm saying? I thank God I don't. I'm jumping over dead bodies at the age of 7, so it was a lot. But I'm grateful I don't look like the story. 'Cause the story got deep.
Do you feel like giving that a little background? I mean, going further into that, or just you want to just leave it alone?
Well, I can elaborate. My brother, it was like 19, well, I ain't gonna tell my age. Look, my brother was drunk. Look, I was about to say it. I was about to say it. My brother was drunk and he was playing with a gun. And at the time, I kept telling him to call the police. Wouldn't nobody listen because I was a child. So I started darting toward the door to run out. And my brother grabbed me. As soon as he grabbed me, and he grabbed my shoulder and pulled me back. And at that exact time, the brother that was drunk playing with the gun fell up against the refrigerator, and the gun went off. And I mean, it just like it hit him. And if he had not snatched me back, it would have been me. Yep, it would have been me.
So what was your first thoughts going into that situation? Like, oh my God, like this is crazy, this is ill, or you just was young enough, well, you was very young, you couldn't really process it right away.
Well, yeah, because I grew up in a chaotic household anyway, so it was just another violent moment. You know, there was a lot of domestic violence and all that from shoot since I can even remember until they got a divorce at the age of 10. So it was just like another tragic moment for me to run to the police to go get help. Because I was always the one trying to run to get help when all the stuff was popping off.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to endure that. And a lot of people don't know dysfunction because you have to live through dysfunction in order to understand it. And I understand it. And it's just hard when you have such a good heart and you see the good in people and those same people turn around and mistreat you. So I
Yeah,
understand it.
yeah, I've been through a lot of that.
Yeah. And so how did that affect you growing up? Like as far as your teenage years and your early adult years, how did that affect you?
Well, with me, because it kind of was like it made me kind of be like kill or be killed. That's how I was thinking. So and I always be like, well, I know I ain't gonna let you get me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna protect me. So that kind of made me angry. So it kind of had me angry, and I was protective of me. I carried chains and knives with locks and socks and whatever else because that's what I grew up in. I mean, it was like, hey, it was rah rah, and you got to protect your own. And so that was the mentality it gave me. Every situation was like kill or be killed. So I had to protect me, and if it's if someone's gonna rise, I wasn't finna let it be me. So that was the mindset it gave me for a long time.
So was it somebody that came along and allowed you to trust and believe in people again?
The Lord, yeah, that's it. It was the Lord. He did a lot of reworking and on the mind. It was a process though. It didn't just happen overnight. It was a long time to get from there to now.
Yeah, because nothing happens overnight,
No.
and I tell people that because a lot of people still like to hold what I did in my teenage years and my I say 18, 19, 20-year old version of myself and still like to hold that against me at the age of 33.
Yeah.
And I don't no longer try to gain redemption from people because it was just a transitional period. It was looking for my identity. I was broken, I was lost, and when you've been broken and lost, you want to be able to help anybody. You want to be able to try to, let people know that, you didn't have it so good. It wasn't no cakewalk. It took work and it took prayer. It took some sacrifices and it
Yeah.
took a lot of disappointments. But you also learned from your circumstances and just making sure, you just treat people the same way you want to be treated. And that's just the golden rule. That's just pretty much everyone's, whatever you believe in, like as far as religion goes, that's in every book. It's to do unto others like you want them to do unto you.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. A lot of people don't forget that part though. A lot of people forget that do unto others. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Important too.
Oh, absolutely. Because I always look at a person's heart. I never judged anybody because I'm pretty much, when it comes to my friends, I'm very diverse. I have black friends, white friends, Mexican friends, a little bit everyone.
Right color
As,
and all that.
as long as you have good intentions, as long as you have a good judgment of character, I can rock with you.
Right.
And I have met a lot of people just from doing the show and just doing what I do at my job and everything. And a lot of people just want um, just the betterment and this community and just the betterment of just their families and themselves. Because I feel like we all have a purpose. You know, we all have something that we came on this planet to do, and I always just used to struggle with that because I was just felt like I wasn't good enough.
Right.
Because even as a kid, I was counted out in society, and I just knew as a kid that I wasn't who they say that I was. I said, I'm as good enough as anybody else, and I'm gonna show you. And it's teachers from elementary school when they see me at my job now, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, William, I thought you would have been dead or in jail by now." And
Wow.
I'm like, "What?" I know I was a terror. I know I was a troublemaker, but mainly I was just a class clown. I just was used to do mischief like any other kid, but I didn't have that love like
Right.
that. And I was looking for love in the wrong places and just wanted some validation. But now that I'm a grown man and that I'm older, I'm just using everything that I've done in the past, but I'm flipping it and internalizing it into a positive. So it just feels good knowing that we can have these type of discussions and stuff and just learn from each other because we all in this together.
Yeah, and that's too bad that those teachers had you feeling less than what you were worth. You know what I'm saying? Because they get in there and that cause rejection, and they give people rejection issues, not being accepted by your teacher, and you ain't gonna be this, and you ain't this, and you ain't that. Yeah, they give people self complex and rejection issues. Yeah, that ain't cool.
Um, Absolutely. And I believe like once in a lifetime you're gonna meet like a couple teachers that actually are there to teach and some of them are there just to get a check, but you actually gonna meet a couple teachers that actually want to impact a student life because when I went to Job Corps, um, all my teachers that I met was the best teachers that I ever had
That's awesome.
because they just knew I was a different person. They just saw right away. They was just like, "Oh, you're not from around here, huh?" And I was like, "No," because I was in St. Louis, Missouri, and I
Okay.
went down there, and at that time, I was just, I felt neglected. I felt abandoned, and a lot of them would just really show interest in me because I just went there, did my work, mind my business. I was 22 years old at the time, and I finished when I was 23. But that was the best experience that I had because I felt like I needed to go there because I was just in these streets. I was not because I wanted to, it was because of survival.
Right.
And for somebody to believe in me and to tell me
Mhm.
that I can be anything that I wanted, all you have to do is work hard for it. And I've been at my job now for 10 years now
Wow.
because of those teachers who took me under their wing and showered me with love and gave me open arms and I just tell anybody who's going through a difficult time, it's not forever. You're going through that time for a reason. Everything's a test, just like
Mhm.
the emergency broadcast system.
Mhm.
That loud beep may be
Yeah,
annoying, but it only lasts for a couple minutes.
that's true. That's
so
true. That's true.
so where did you go to school at?
Well, I went to Saginaw High, and then I ended up at Reuben Daniels because I was pregnant with my first child. So I was at Saginaw High for maybe a year. And then I went to Reuben Daniels, and then I just quit. I'm like, I don't want to go to school no more. So I just didn't feel like going, and I didn't. But then when it was graduation time, and I seen all my friends graduating, I'm like, shoot, I let them graduate. I can graduate too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going back to school. So I went back, and I stuck in there for my few years, and I got my diploma. I'm like, I don't want no GED. I need my diploma. So I ended up going back to Reuben Daniels and got my diploma. Yeah.
So was that a difficult transition for you, being a mother?
Yes, it was difficult because of the situation of how I became pregnant. So I became pregnant from rape. So that made the situation very difficult because number one, I didn't want no baby. Period. I was still 15 years. I was 15, 16 years old. I didn't want no kid, and I didn't want it from that way for sure. So that made it very difficult. I was a
And
baby with a baby. I'm saying I was a baby with a baby.
yeah, and and also just the thing is with that is, just a lot of men um give young girls and women a bad rep because they have kids young and don't really be knowing the circumstances of it. Because I
Yeah.
think it takes courage for keeping a child who was born off lust and love.
Yeah.
And that's why when I said when I become a father that I want my all my children to be born off love and not lust.
Yes.
And because I don't know if I was born off love or lust. I don't know that. I would never know that, but
Right.
I can give my children the reassurance whenever they ask me, so daddy, how did I come into the picture? And I can tell them like, because you came off love. Since I love your mother, then I'm automatically gonna love you because you you came for me because I love myself.
Yeah,
So
that's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful.
absolutely, absolutely. I just um enjoy just this conversation so far because I have such empathy towards my elders. I'm not trying to call you old, but I'm saying, you know, you old enough to be my mother. So I mean, I'm just saying, uh, respectfully, but
Right.
it just you don't meet warriors every day, and I consider you as a warrior because you had to survive, and now you're living,
Yes, Lord.
and everybody doesn't get the opportunity. Because like I told you over the phone about my worst um situation in my life,
Hmm.
it's still kind of there. The stigma's still there, and
Hmm.
I still struggle with that. But I I put all that into something that like an outlet, just making sure that someone learns something and
Right.
someone grabs all the information out of me and my guests, and I just love what I do, and just for once, I kind of, well, I ain't gonna say kind of, because that's an understatement. I actually know my purpose, and this is my purpose, and well, this is just an avenue, but it's gonna
Right.
expand, it's gonna
Hmm.
enlarge, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna
It's
be
gonna.
able to get to the larger masses. But I just really have nothing but love and respect for you, Miss Donald.
Yeah, turn that pain into a purpose,
Hmm.
brother. You know what I'm saying? Because there's others who have endured what you endured. Like I said, I know a cousin of mine personally, and people really need like support groups or something like that. Somebody else that have dealt with that to be able to understand. Because like I said, I've dealt with a lot of death, but not in that fashion. So, it's different. Like losing a brother is different than losing your parent, so it hit different.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell people when you look like the person too, it don't make it no better. It's
Hmm.
you don't want to take pictures sometimes. You don't even want to look in the mirror. A lot of times when I'm brushing my teeth and stuff, I keep the medicine cabinet door open because I don't want to close it and see my reflection because I see my brother.
Well, y'all must look a
So
lot like.
yeah, we have the same face.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty eerie, but I just let people understand because a lot of times people take who they still have for granted and don't really get the chance to hang out. They have fallen outs over something that could be resolved.
Hmm.
And I tell people like once they gone forever. This is real. This is not no music video. This is
Right.
not no movie. Like once it's over, it's over.
Oh,
And it just makes it even more worse if y'all had an argument hours prior. So I just always try to recommend people to, love who you still have, appreciate who you still have, and just try to do right by each other because that's all you have is each other.
right.
And don't let the like money, don't let anything that's not real or hold any type of value destroy your relationship.
Right. Right. That's true. They shouldn't, but it do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, people fall out over the silliest stuff. Like that be worth falling out about.
yeah, because I'm just the type of person where like I can give you so many chances until I come to the realization that okay, you think I'm a pushover or you think I'm
Hmm.
soft or whatever. I can show you better. I can tell you
Yes.
because I don't need anybody. I want people, but I don't need them
Right.
because I had to learn to go years by myself. I had to rock by myself in those type of in that type of situation because when it comes to grief, I think people just I like you scrape your knee on a concrete and it's gonna be okay with a band-aid, and that's
Hmm.
not how grief is. Grief, messes you up mentally, physically, emotionally,
Hmm.
spiritually.
Hmm.
You're not the same. I don't
Hmm.
even remember who I was before all that happened. To be honest with you, because my mental just all over the place now. But right now, I'm in a great space. I finally had got out of that bad bad place in my life, and everything is. I ain't gonna say it's back to normal, but I'm gonna say that I have an epiphany. So
Right. It take a while to process that grief. You have to process it. Matter of fact, I know this church I used to go to. They used to have grief counseling classes just for dealing with grief. And I know a lot of people that need that, but they won't. They probably wouldn't go, but they do need it because they still real hurt behind the loss of their loved one. Excuse me. Yeah, so maybe that'll be an avenue for you.
oh yeah, I'm the grief expert. And all my friends are like, "Oh man, here you go." But
God, man,
no, but
that grief.
it's I just try to just because everyone just think I'm such the strong guy, but I'm very fragile. I'm very soft. I'm soft, but the kind of softness is that like if I love a person, it's going to really affect me a whole lot than I didn't love a person.
Right.
But but my love for people is real because I'm such a lovable guy. Like I have so many friends and I'm very outgoing. I'm social and I'm very
Genuine.
compassionate and genuine. Yeah. And I just always want the best for people and stuff. And I just always want people to be happy. But I had to learn to put myself first. And that was tough for me to put myself first and give myself the opportunity to realize that I'm not indestructible. I can break down, I can self destruct, but I'm gonna always get back up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the message. And I think it's the topic of this episode is about getting back up because you have to pick yourself back up during all of that.
You have no idea. Yes. You
I
have no.
don't. I don't.
I
I
had to pick
don't.
myself up, man, from so much and so many different things. But like the song, get back up again. You got to get back up again. You got to get back up again. And again and again and again, no matter what. You just got to keep getting back up again.
So when was the year that you decided to give your life to God and you started to work on your book and work on your businesses and stuff like that?
And
So
that all it, in itself was definitely the Lord. So I was not looking for God. I was going about my merry way, doing what I do, drinking my cognac, smoking my blunts, and being happy. That's what I was doing until that darn. I said I got hit with depression, and at the time I didn't know what depression was. I was going by my merry way, and one day I started crying, and I was like, I don't cry. I'm strong. I'm tough. You know what I'm saying? I don't cry. I don't cry. So why am I crying? I cried all that day, all the next day, and all the next day. And I'm like, something wrong. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute, something's wrong. So I'm going to Med Express. They're like you. I was like, I'm going to Med Express. And just so happened there was a parishioner guy in there, and and me and him started talking, and he like, I think you're depressed. I'm like, depressed? Me? I'm like, what's depressed? And I found out what depressed was. That thing hit me like a bulldozer, like poop, 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 1, 2 punch, just knocked me straight out. And I was just like, TKO, like Muhammad Ali came through that joke and just knocked me out. And when I was in that dark place with nowhere to go and nowhere to turn, that's when I found the Lord, because He already knew me, and that's when I didn't have nowhere to go, and I started getting on the prayer line with this lady, and we would pray, and they'd be praying in tongues. I didn't even know what tongues was because I didn't grow up in the church. I didn't know nothing. I just knew about the picture on the wall and the prayers we did in elementary school. That's all I knew. You know what I'm saying? But I knew who Jesus was because I did pray. But in that prayer with the lady, and I would hear them speaking in tongues that I now know, and I was just like, Lord, I want to do that. Look, I want to pray like that. I'm asking, I want to pray like that. And I ain't even say it out loud. I said it to myself, and she said, okay. And for the one on the prayer line who wants to speak in tongues so badly, the Lord said He's going to give it to you. And I'm like, how she even know I said that though? Because I said it to myself. And like a couple of weeks later, I started getting my heavenly language out, and I'm like, all right, like He gave it to me, I can do it. And went for prayer, and I just started feeling a little stronger and a little stronger. And then while I was going through that, though, I still was drinking and everything. And then I was drinking, Remy Martin VSOP was my first drink of choice. And it started making my stomach hurt. And I'm like, I drank good stuff. Why my stomach hurting? And then I switched over to Patron. Look, then that started making my stomach hurt. I'm like, why is my stuff making my stomach hurt? So I switched from that to fruity drinks and my little Bud Light limes. I still kept kicking it with those. And then next thing I know, I just didn't even have a taste for it. I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to smoke. I just finished smoking because I didn't know once I got that close with the Lord, it meant that I had to cut out the other stuff. So, I'm still smoking and kicking it with the Lord. And then one day He like, you got to put that down right. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's my stress reliever, Lord. I'm talking to him like me and you. I'm like, that's my stress reliever. I can't stop smoking. I've been smoking since I was a teenager. I'm gonna have withdrawals. I'm gonna have withdrawal, Lord. What am I gonna do? I can't stop just like that. And he was like, 2 weeks. I'm like, what? 2 weeks? And I always bought quantities, ounces, half an ounces. I'm like, I still got a half an ounce. Can I at least finish what I got? I'm kicking up honestly with the Lord. He said, yeah. He said, I'll give you 2 weeks. The 2 weeks came. Look, I'm smoking slow. And by the time the 2 weeks came, I smoked the last blunt. And the next day, I woke up and the taste was completely gone out of my mouth. I didn't have a taste for it. He just like erased it. And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. And when I was going through the depression, and the Holy Spirit would be like, write a poem, write. And I'm like, I don't know how to write. And then these poems would just be flowing and flowing and flowing. And then Lord was like, I want you to take those and make a book. He like, people need to read those. And I'm like, that's my life though. That's personal business. He's like, no, you need to put that in a book. And so I was obedient, and that's how my first book came to pass. Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes people like to ignore God. You can't do that. I
Yeah, I
always tell
ignored him for
people,
years. It made me get to the place where I couldn't ignore him no more. Like, you gonna listen to me. Look, hey, you gonna listen to me. The hard way or the easy.
yeah, because a lot of people don't understand that God is like any other parent who pretty much would tell you what you got to do. Arrogant and this and that. He only, he only gonna show us a couple times. That third time, we on our own. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy that oblige
But he had
by
been
his
trying to
more.
pull my coattail a few times, and I wasn't listening. But once I got so far down, he like, now you ain't you all the way down there now. You know what I'm saying? You gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? You gonna listen now, ain't you?
Yeah, yeah, life, man. I'm telling you, like, I believe I would not be where I'm at today if I didn't listen to him, because
Right.
I knew that he was telling me, you gotta let some of them friends you hang out with, you gotta let
Yes.
them go.
Hmm.
And I was trying to keep him because I was so vulnerable.
Right.
And he said, you don't need anybody but me. I would bring people to you, and he did.
And he will. And the first time I ever heard that voice, and I didn't know what it was. Like I said, I didn't grow up in the church, so I didn't know. It was the day that I got raped. Me and the girl was going to the spot we was going, and I just kept hearing, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. And I'm like, what is that? My belly kept turning, kept saying, don't go, don't go, don't go. And I kept saying, I don't think I'm going, man. And then she just kept on, no, we ain't got to go in. We only going to be there for a minute. But it just kept pulling and tugging, kept telling me, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. And then after that, I'm like, man, that was you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time I ever really knew what that voice was. So after that day, I knew when you hear that saying telling you don't do or don't go, you better not do or go. So that's why I always told my son, when you hear that voice in your belly talking to you, telling you don't go or don't do something, you better listen, because you're gonna regret it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. The belly never steer you wrong. If it's telling you don't do it, don't do it. Don't do it. Period. That's serious too. The scripture said, out of the belly flow rivers of living water. That's the water. He's speaking to you. Holy Spirit is water, represents water. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to tell me I didn't listen, but I learned. I learned.
Yeah, and I don't like when people talk about, oh, guardian angels doesn't exist, because they do.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We all got them. It's all different kind. Guardian
Well,
angels, warring angels. It's angels that help with all different type of situations.
Yeah, 'cause something gotta be watching over me like every day, 'cause I pretty much be in positions and all that good. Well, all that, I ain't gonna say good stuff, but I'm gonna say bad stuff. Well, I'm gonna just say stuff. I ain't just trying to incriminate myself, but
Right.
I'm. But I was just say I know that I'm protected, and I know that my time um it's be prolonging, but I also use common sense and stuff like that because we can rush our demise and
Mm-hmm.
don't even realize it just
It is a
by
for death.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I would say that the Lord helped me out a lot by making me my mother's only son left because a lot of times I just kind of be very cautious about things I do, places I go, people I be around, and I also think before I act because I just be wanting to get home. That's all.
Yes. Yes.
Anybody's main objective throughout any day is to make sure you get home, and
Gotta
that's
get home. Gotta
and
get
that's my
home.
main thing now. And I'm just trying to just be responsible and hold myself accountable of things and really mature. And the that's my main priority is to make sure I become an old man someday. A lot of young kids isn't thinking that far. They're just living for right now,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually we're gonna be old. And I want to be old. I want to be somebody grandfather. I want to be somebody father someday. So that's why I'm being disciplined and being very um, reserved
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with my everything. So
Yeah, you're gonna make it. You're gonna be the daddy and the granddaddy and all that. You're gonna make it.
so
Your
if
mama
you
gonna
can,
be happy.
you say, excuse me.
I said your mother's gonna be happy.
Yeah, she happy now. She always big me up ever since I've been doing this. She been bigging me up. Telling all her friends at the corner store about my show and stuff. So it's a good feeling that I had made something on myself because whether a lot of mothers believe it or not, us sons we want to make y'all proud. We want to make sure that we don't become statistics out here and just be out here just doing crazy stuff. We think about a lot of the scenarios and stuff like that because the last thing we ever want is to disappoint our mothers. Our fathers, we don't care, well, depending on if he was in our lives or not, but
Right, right, right.
your mother is different. Your mother, just like a daddy and daughter relationship, the son and mother bond is sacred. So, if anything, like I still don't want to disappoint my mother, even though I live alone and pay my own bills and I'm a grown man now. I still don't want to disappoint my mother.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, if you can talk to the young version of yourself, what would be your advice to her?
The advice to the younger me would have been, what would I tell the younger me? I would have told the younger me that you should have stayed in school. You should have finished college because I did go for a little while, but then I got caught up in some other stuff and quit. And you should have kept pushing for all those dreams you had and became the best version of you that you could have been. regardless of the circumstances. Sure.
Well, well, I would tell your younger self that you're going to grow up to do remarkable things, and you
Yeah.
have. And and just the fact that you wrote two books and you have hair care products and skin products, everyone can say that.
That's true. And the hair grease been growing people hair like wow, wow. I'm like, all right, it's really it's something good.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I you have a website.
Yes, but I don't have my products on the website. Not my grease is not on the website yet, but I do have one for my books. But I don't have the greases on there yet. We're working on it.
Okay, well,
I can start
just
doing it in January.
okay, well, just inbox me that.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure I promote your stuff and just
Appreciate
make sure we keep in touch because
it. Appreciate it.
I really like your aura. You know,
Oh,
I
cool.
enjoy good energy.
Cool, cool, cool. I'm glad to have good energy. Look, because it's a lot of people that don't for real. I mean, it's
Mm-mm.
just so much. It's just so much going on. Like today, the people at the laundromat about to fight. I'm like, oh my God, they about to fight in the laundromat. I'm like, oh, well, I'm just trying to wash my comforter. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I just want to wash my
Yeah,
comforter. Shoot.
yeah, yeah. I love my people, but I love my people from a distance sometimes. Like, because I realize that all of us isn't civilized. A lot of us are just broken and hurt, and you know, hurt people,
And
and
that's true. That is so. That's my little saying. You ask Polo, I say that all the time. He be like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause hurt people, hurt people." Unfortunately, and they do. There's so many people that's broken. It's just sad, you know. And I hate to see there's so many people that's broken that don't even realize they broken. You know what I'm saying? I
mm-mm.
see it all the time, especially after dealing with the depression. Like, dude, you need to go to counseling or something because I mean you messed up. You know what I'm saying? You messed up. Don't you see you messed up? You're just gonna walk around and stay messed up. Can't nobody fix you but you. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to do it because it's not an easy road. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy road, but can't nobody fix you but you. Ain't you worth the fight? You know what I'm saying? I fought hard to get back to from where I was at. Shoot, I had to fight tooth and nail. It was not easy. No, it was not easy at all. But I'm gonna fight for me. You know, I've always been a fighter for me since I was. That's what they taught me. You know, growing up, I'm gonna fight for me. Period. Could nobody else do it for me but me. And by that, you know, in God's grace, hey, we ain't what we used to be.
Right, and
Yeah.
and that's the goal. Because with me, my my rough 5 years, it was man, it, shoot, I was my own worst enemy before anybody could, you know, hate me and despise me. I
Right.
was my own worst enemy because I didn't know how to be honest with myself. Because like I told you, I'm a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much a giant and everything like that. So when people see me, they like, you can be afraid of something, you can be scared, you can be wounded, you can be. I'm like, yeah, I'm a human being like everybody else, but just I had to force myself to go to counseling because I wasn't sleeping and I was having just recurrent nightmares and stuff like that for 6 months straight. I wasn't sleeping. I was scared to go to sleep because it would be just countless episodes of my
Wow.
trauma. And That's why I just recommend anybody and everybody to just go talk to a therapist. It don't makes you weak to admit that you have a problem. It makes you
Yeah,
human,
that's the first thing.
and I just been really just rejoicing, just the fact that I have conquered what took a lot of people, our people, down,
Hmm.
and it taught me to be humble. It taught me not to criticize nobody because we have these liquor stores in our communities, and we have undesirables. That's what they are labeled.
Hmm.
You don't know what that alcoholic or that drug addict was before they became that.
That's true. That's true.
And
Most people that's like that try to hide some type of pain. They try to quench it through alcohol, drugs.
I felt like I was headed down that wrong path, but luckily I had God sent me people who didn't give up on me,
Hmm.
and the ones who left, I have no harm or harsh feelings towards them because they did what they were supposed to do.
Hmm. That's true.
Hmm.
People come for a reason or a season.
Yeah, and I just, I just admire women so much because my mom was a fighter. My mom had to raise three kids by herself, and she never shown any frustrations or pain for being a single mother. She had just, did what she had to do. I never heard her say I need a break or I didn't ask for this or I didn't sign up for this, and that's the old school mothers, from the 90s and the 80s and 70s. That's
Hmm.
from my observation of being on this planet. But it's
Right.
just a lot of young girls say that about their children like like it's a job to be a mom. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that is not, but I'm
Hmm.
saying when you treat your parenting like you punching a clock, I feel like that's toxic.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
And, and
That,
then you and then you wonder why your son is out here selling drugs or he gang banging or he's in prison was because of what you said, how you treated him. You treated him like he was a part-time job, like he was a 20-hour a week priority,
hmm. Hmm.
and that's an oxymoron to me.
That ain't good. That's not good. And there's a lot of parents like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I just need just anybody who's a father, fight for your fight for your kid's life, whether if you have to, go to court, get custody, or just, get off your butt and do what you got to do, because your kids need you.
That's true.
And I was happy and fortunate of my stepfather, because my stepfather, he passed. It'd be 4 years in June since he been gone, and he pretty much taught me everything that I know, and my mentors taught me everything that I know. So luckily, when my biological wasn't around, I still learned how to become a man, and I still learned about good choices and making right decisions and driving and tying a tie, and I'm still learning how to fix the sink, plumbing and all that. But
Ah,
I'm lucky and I'm grateful for, even though the sometimes the absence it's a
Mm-hmm.
blessing because a lot of times kids wonder why, why daddy not around. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes God keep him away so he won't mess you up. He won't,
I was just gonna say, yeah, some of them shouldn't be around no way. And at least you still had somebody to instill in you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, to still give you what you needed.
yeah. And to me, I always followed my heart. I always thought for myself. And it just, this new generation, like this blue pill, red pill stuff, I just think it's a load of crap because they indoctrinating people that they is poisoning a lot of these young black men. And I believe, just like whatever and whoever you are, you always have to follow your first principle and your belief or whatever. Everyone's different and no one's the same. And that's why the world is the way it is because we all have different viewpoints and different perspectives. We all, walk different paths. And that's why I feel when it comes to human beings, like we're very unique. And I would never suggest people to think like I think because that's impossible. My brain and my intelligence was mine, and you have your own, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody else's. But but I just always try to give people just a sense of humanity. Just you're welcome to agree with me, and you're welcome to disagree with me. But
Mm-hmm.
I also don't have to agree with you.
That's true.
But we have to learn how to respect each other because
And we
it's
don't have to
always
fall out. Yeah, we got to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Without being the hostility in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got their own viewpoints.
yeah. And also, I just wanted to ask you, um, when you're not doing what you do, what do you like to do?
What do I like to do?
Yeah, as far as hobbies.
Well, I like to go out of town and tour cities, check out restaurants, stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I might be going to Chicago this week. Maybe.
Mm.
That's what I like to do.
I always wanted to go to Chicago. I always wanted to go to Chicago for real instead of downtown Greyhound station. Because every time I went to Chicago, I was going other places. So I used to have like a 3 hour layover, and somebody used to always trying to sell me jewelry in the
Oh wow.
bathroom. So
Black we don't want no Jerry.
so I want to go to a real trip to Chicago. So I'm pushing
Yeah.
for that.
But see, I'm just a simple person. I don't require a lot. I'm good if I can get me a book and go sit by the water and just sit there and read me a book or something. I ain't really complicated. It don't take a lot to make me happy. Not no more. I don't drink, don't smoke, don't do none of that anyway. So my life is pretty simple now.
That's good. I'm very happy to hear that because you don't
Ten
really
years.
yeah, because you don't really get the chance to hear happy endings like
Yeah,
that.
10 years clean. Yeah, 10 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yep, 10 years.
So, you have any like future projects and future things
Yes, I
that
got
you're
a
trying to
whole
do?
lot of more books that I want to write, and I got some other products that I want to produce. So yeah, I got some stuff churning around up in there.
Oh yeah, I have a question. So you have men products as well, or are you working on that?
Well, the Greeks, yeah, well, both of them is they're unisex. You see Polo on
Oh,
the commercial. You see Polo on the commercial greasing his head up with the grease. Had the waves shining up there. He put that hair manna up there.
Yeah, because I have waves too, so I want to.
Yeah, you
I
see him on
want
a commercial up there slicking his all up and stuff.
to. Man, that dude.
Ah,
Oh, that dude's so
yeah, the
extra,
product like
man.
that unisex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna have to try that.
yeah, that's pretty cool. They unisex.
Yeah, I'll let you. I'll let you know when I'm ready to make a purchase, because I really would love to try that, because I'm
Yeah, or
very
yeah, I give you a
open.
sample so you can try it out, see if you like.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I give honest reviews, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you know. Well,
yeah.
I ain't gonna tell everybody, but I'm gonna just call you and let you know, like, oh, I love it, and then I'm gonna promote it.
Mm-hmm. I already know you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Polo laughing at us. I
That's
see
straight
this
from heaven. I already know you're gonna love it. That's straight from heaven. That's the hair manna. That
one.
manna from heaven. That's manna.
Right.
That's the name of it. Hair manna. That's the hair manna. You gonna love it. Polo shine his all up there. Definitely got mine. My hair have grown, and because this is my real hair. And in 2 years, it was like right there, and we got all this in 2 years. Because first it was just like right here, because they had broke off, and I was stressed. But now
Hmm.
we got growth now. The hair manna.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Always kept my hair low, so I don't even remember when I had grew my hair, but I really like your hair. It's just, you can tell it's just so
It's
healthy.
real. Look, it wasn't like that at first though, because when I was depressed, they had broke off so bad. I mean, really bad. I can show you some before pictures, but hey, that hair man worked it on out. Working it on out.
Well, I just wanted to let you know, thank you for coming to the show,
Thank you.
and I would love to bring you back.
Of course, yes, I enjoyed. Yes, I enjoyed so much. So many topics we didn't get to touch on, so that'd be cool.
I mean, you have anything else to talk about? I mean, I don't want to just, you know, this
Well,
this
we,
your this your this your time, or you want to wait?
we can get us a part two going. Yeah, because we've been
Okay,
an hour already.
man, it don't even seem like it.
I know. It's 10:28.
Oh
Look,
my.
sister tired. I got up this morning and because ain't nobody cleaning out insides of rides. And inside of my car was dirty. I had to go out there with a bucket. I had to work the inside, I had to do that thing myself. Oh my God, it's disgusting. Thank you. Thank you, Alma.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's
Yeah,
such
it
a.
grew. I'm telling you, it had broke off so bad. But the hair man and the Lord, we got hair, we got inches again.
Yeah, she's such a good supporter, man. I love
That's,
everybody.
that's awesome. That's awesome. It's good to have some good supporters.
Yeah, I'm just I'm just a young man that's just trying to make a difference, and well, am making a difference. Let me stop. Let me quit trying to downplay myself. But
You're doing very, very well. I just want to say to for anybody that's going through any tough situation, you know what I'm saying, whether it's domestic violence, you know what I'm saying, depression, grief, um, while you in that thing, I know it hurts and I know it's hard and I know it don't seem like it's a way out, but it is, it's a way out. Just got to take your time, get you a healing plan. That's what you need, a plan. Okay, I'm here. So how am I going to get over here? What do I need to do to get myself better? Do I need to go to counseling? Do I need to find me a church counselor? Maybe some people can have a chemical imbalance. Maybe you need some medicines or something, but you need to get a healing plan. You see, okay, I'm right here. I'm jacked up. What do I need to do to get me over here? I mean, write that thing down, make it plain, because it's always it's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? It seemed dark while you there, but just stick with it. And it don't happen overnight. I did counseling and everything for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? 10 whole years. But like, it took me 40, I was 40 years worth of jacked up stuff. So I couldn't expect it to go away in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? It took a while. It took a while and it was hard. But I had to dig and fight and claw my way up out of that. You know what I'm saying? We had to fight. And you know what I'm saying? You can't just do that. Yeah. And self-medicating ain't gonna fix it either.
No,
Mm-mm. That's just
definitely not.
that's just the bandage. The wound's gonna start leaking again.
Yeah, I want to apologize for my boy Darrell. Don't even pay
What's the
attention to.
rail guy? What's that corn?
Yeah, he
You hungry?
no, he's trolling. He does this to me for some
Oh,
reason, but
you get
but
in
I
trouble?
probably he be trolling me and stuff. But it's our little
It's
thing we
all
do.
good. It's all
But
good.
but don't even
Laughter is
pay
good.
attention to that negativity.
Laughter is good. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good.
yeah. I'm gonna make sure to keep in contact with you and everything. You are new friend of mine
It's
now, and
for sure, for sure.
I'm gonna make sure to contact you with some about those products,
Okay.
and
All right.
make sure that I would say by May to bring you back
Yeah.
because I just enjoyed this. This was
I enjoyed it
so
too. I
peaceful.
This was my first podcast. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
happy to be the first one.
It was really nice. Look, it was really nice. So, but I'm just saying, and when you're in the middle of that stuff, you never know. Because, like I said, if I had not been through that, I wouldn't have had no books. You know what I'm saying? If I wouldn't have went through all that, I wouldn't have had no books or nothing.
Oh, absolutely. Pain is the best. It's the best story.
Yeah,
Besides the joys, but the pain is what keep the the reader and the person interested.
yeah. My first book is actually poetry. Yeah. So, but it was about. Let me show you. It's about the pain for both of them. This is the first one. You see it? Teardrops of blood. No, this one is crying from the pain. That's the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one is teardrops of blood. This is about the job I was at. I dealt with a lot of crazy issues there,
Hmm.
and that's why I ended up dealing with the depression stuff. But those are on my website, marlodonald.com. My
Okay.
books are.
Yeah, I'm,
They're
I'm gonna
on
make
the
sure.
website.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I'll put it in the description too,
Okay,
your website, so that
thank
people
you.
can purchase your books. And I'm putting this on my YouTube channel as well. So
Okay.
so
And if they
we
need
so
some hair products or something, until I get my website, I have a Facebook and an Instagram, Dion's Dazzle hair creams and things.
okay. I'm gonna
Yep.
make sure everybody knows you and stuff.
Got to
Because
know us. I see you, Polo.
yeah, he here. And but I just want to let you know, thank you for this, and this was the highlight of my day because I worked like a slave today. So
Oh, wow.
this was a great day. You made my day with this
Well,
interview.
thank you. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Thank
it.
you,
So
thank you,
I will be looking for your other shows and sharing them out for you and help promote you.
thank you. I appreciate
You're welcome. You're welcome.
it. Well, I just want to tell you good night and everything,
Oh,
and
good night. And thank you very much. Until the next time, have a blessed
facts.
night.
You too.
Bye bye, audience. Hope y'all have a blessed night as well.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for watching.
All right, deuces. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.